Hello. Everyone told me to make a YouTube channel and kind of start. I didn't know what to post as my first video, so I thought this would be a good idea. This is my coming out story. I am gay, identify as gay. And it's been a long process to get to where I am now. It was difficult, hard, challenging, and it took a very long time to kind of process the thought that I was different, if you will. It all started really in primary school. I think I was like in year 3 or something, and it was the first time I ever heard the word gay, and I was called it, and then they just kept calling me. I was like labelled as the gay kid because I would dress up in like dresses and wear like little baby heels and play with all the girls and do very girly things, and the boys were like, what the fuck, you're a boy, you should be doing what boys do. And I was not that stereotype, so I got labelled as gay, which was hard in a sense because I didn't really know what gay was. I just knew that it was when you liked the same gender, so it was kind of like confusing for me. Then in year 6 was when it kind of got like bad. I wasn't liked by all the boys. No boy liked me in my year. I was friends with all the girls, but there was no boys who liked me. So PE, because obviously you split in terms of gender in PE, that was difficult because I was with the boys and I didn't like the boys and they didn't like me. So it was kind of like I had no friends in that spectrum. Year 7, we'll go back, okay, we'll jump to year 7. Year 7 was a dodgy year because it was the first time I ever had like a proper, I'll say proper girlfriend. And she had like loads of friends who were part of like the LGBT community, a load of them. Like I think there was 3 out of like the 6 of us that were a part of the LGBT community. So I was like looking into it, and that's where I found this term called bisexual, and I was like, so it's straight and gay. Maybe this is what I am, because I am attracted to girls, but I've been called gay all my life, so obviously I'm these 2 things. So I came out as bisexual in year 7. I didn't know what it meant, I didn't know if I actually identified as it, I just thought it was kind of an escape to identify as something, because I was always called gay, never called straight, so I thought if I identified as bi, maybe I'd be left alone. Not the case. Not the case at all. It was harder, I would say. I went to a really like small secondary school, so it was kind of like everyone knew each other. When I came out as bi, it spread around like wildfire. And there were some people that were like, yes, and then there were some that were like, ugh. So that was weird. So I kept the girlfriend for, I think it was 4 months, and then we broke it off because I wasn't interested anymore. So then I went to a different school. I moved schools because the school I was at was completely awful and just dodgy. So I transferred to a new school, and as soon as I transferred, the gay label came back and was like stuck on me. It was like, nope, you're gay. So that came back, which was difficult to process because I was like, maybe if I join a new school, all of this will leave me, but it didn't, it came right back. So labelling happened again, and I was called faggot, queer, gay, all the rest of it, you name it, I was called it. So let's jump to year 8, is when I first proper spoke to a boy. His name was Luke, and he was a lot older than me. I think he was 17 and I was, year 8, how old would I have been? 13 or 14. Right, so quite a big age gap. He was the first boy I ever spoke to in a proper terms. We FaceTimed all the time, we talked all the time, we were planning to meet, but he developed massive feelings for me and I was still trying to figure out what the fuck I was. So I told him that I don't want to continue this, I don't feel comfortable anymore, because I really wanted to be straight. I really tried to convince myself that I should be straight, I shouldn't be gay, I shouldn't be this thing that's not normal. That's what I saw it as, was not normal. It was this thing that, it was there, but it wasn't what people wanted. When you're born, you are presumed straight, and that's just how the world works. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think you should be labelled as anything when you're born, because you are a baby and you're still figuring things out. But when you are born, you are presumed straight until you come out. And unless you come out, you're presumed straight. And it saddens me that people generally, like, in the past, have gone to the grave without ever coming out and showing who they really are, if you will. And sad, because, like, they've had to deal with that guilt for their whole life. I dealt with this guilt for 2 years and I could barely deal with it. So the fact that people have dealt with it through their whole lives and never came out to the day they died, ouch, man, that hurts. Anyway, back to the main part of this story. So in year 8 was when I was first talking to a guy, and I was still, like, very new to the whole gay scene. I didn't know what it meant, didn't know what to do. And he was my first, like, insight into what gay was. Because I found him really attractive, and he found me really attractive, and it was just, like, this thing. And I told all my friends that it was a girl called Layla, and, like, no one really suspected anything, because I had gone with a lot of girls. Like, I was known as the man slag in my school, because I had gone with loads of girls, because I was just trying to cover who I was deep down. I didn't want to show that side of me yet. I wasn't ready, I didn't accept myself, I wasn't mentally prepared for what would come if I did show my true self, which sucks. Anyway, so year 9 is when I officially knew I was gay. I came to terms with it, I understood that I was gay, I understood what it meant, I understood that this is who I was, but I didn't want to accept it, and I tried everything to try and convince myself otherwise. So year 9 was pretty much the year where I was like, Lee, you're gay. Lee, you are a gay guy in this world. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why are you gay? And it was a really hard thing to process, thing to go through, thing to experience, because when you're gay, you're seen as different. Well, to some, maybe not to others, but to a majority of the people, you are seen as different, you are seen as weird, you are seen as not normal, you are seen as this thing that's very new. It's like, straight is this beautiful horse that everyone loves, and then there's just this, like, creature next to it, which is gay, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, it was a very, like, new thing. It's become very much normal now, and I'm so appreciative of that, but when I was growing up, it was like, we're going to keep that to the side, we're just going to let that under the covers, slip under the rug, we're going to focus on this beautiful Pegasus instead of this ugly creature. So, being only boy in a all-girl household, me and my dad are the only boys in our family, it's kind of like pressured onto me to get a wife, have kids, carry my family name out, and that's not the case anymore. Because I'm not going to have a wife, I'm not going to have this life that I think my parents expected. Being the only boy in a all-girl household, my dad really wanted me to get a wife, have kids, live what he lived, if you know what I mean. So that was a struggle. That was a struggle in personal views, that I was going to disappoint my family. And another thing that was kind of hard to process was I didn't truly accept myself until end of this year. Well, I know it's 2020 now, but like end of this year. Anyway, so it was like a really hard thing to go through mentally and physically and all of them, because I would get guys Snapchatting me and texting me and Instagramming me and DMing me, asking to talk, asking to meet, asking to do all this stuff. And some of them, I would say yeah, and then like a few days later, I would completely block contact with them because I wasn't ready. I didn't want to get found out. I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get exposed. I don't want anyone to know what was going on behind the scenes. And there were some guys that I was completely homophobic to, and I'm going to hold my hands up and say I was homophobic, but it was something I regret immensely, but it was the truth. If a guy messaged me asking me to talk, I'd be like, fuck off, you faggot, I don't like boys. But that was just internal anger for being a faggot, being gay, for being something that I didn't accept. So if you will, I was homophobic to myself. I didn't want to believe, I didn't want to accept, I didn't want to deal with the fact that I was gay and I would be living a gay life. I wanted to be normal, if you will. I wanted to just be left alone, normal, and not be looked at as different. And that's what happens. When you're something that's not consumed as normal, you are seen as different, and people love to talk about things that are different. Things that are normal are boring. Things that are different are exciting. And they're like, oh my god, like, he's gay, like, I don't see a problem with that anymore, but back then I did. It was a big problem to me, and it was hard to understand, process, deal with mentally. Year 10 was my best year, so far my best year, because I gained so many more friends, I was so much more open, but I was still in the closet. I was still very much in the closet. I still had this whole secret life that no one knew about except for me and the boys I was speaking to. But I became more and more accepting, I guess you could say. I would speak to boys and keep it very on the down low, would never tell anyone about them. They were a secret to me. And that feels really bad to say, because they probably like caught feelings, or they probably really liked me. And I was just like, shh, like, we can't tell anyone, like, this is a secret, shh, be quiet. So that was difficult for them and for me. Then there was a rumour going around that I was talking to someone who was a boy, and that was like scary as fuck to me. I was like, fuck, I've been found out, I've been caught, I'm fucked. What the fuck are my family gonna think? What the fuck are my parents gonna think? What the fuck are my friends gonna think? What the fuck's the school gonna think? Like, I was so scared. I broke contact from every boy that I had ever spoken to, like, completely just ignored them, completely, like, either I would block them or I would ignore them, and it was just left at that. So year 10 wasn't as struggle as year 9 was, but it was still, like, very, very scary. Now let's go on to this year, well, 2019, I know it's 2020 now, but 2019. 2019 was a very eventful year for my sexuality, because it's the year I came out. It's the year I caught feelings for 2 boys. It's the year I got heartbroken. It's the year I did things experimental-wise. It's the year I became myself, if you will. I was still talking to loads of boys, still very secretive of it all. And then there was this boy who my friends knew. All the boys I'd spoken to before lived in different cities or lived in different places in England, didn't live near me, I didn't know them, never, like, met them. My friends didn't know who they were. They lived in, like, Manchester, fucking Newcastle, like, Birmingham. Like, they didn't live near me, basically. But there was this one boy. I'm not gonna say his name because he's still in the closet. But he my friends knew him. Like, he went to a school that I knew quite a few people that go to that school. Like, he was very close, and my friends knew him. My best friend is friends with this guy, so people knew him. I didn't know him, and he messaged me, and we got to talking, and he came round, and we experimented, and we kissed and talked, and just talked about it all, and it was really nice, but I didn't catch feelings, and he did, and I didn't really like it anymore. He was getting very, like, in your face, and, like, texting me all the time, and I didn't really enjoy that, so I told him I can't do this anymore, and he didn't take it well, but that was that. And then, because he was angry, he told his friends about me, and that hurt. That hurt because I was still in the closet. I was still very, very afraid of what everyone would think. I was still very, very afraid of myself. And him telling people made me gain many trust issues that I still have to this day. So he told his friends, ones that he was out to, about me. And they told their friends, and they told their friends, and my friend came to me and was like, Lee, like, my mate told me you've done stuff with this boy. Is that true? And I was like, no. He just tried texting me, and I told him to fuck off. Like, I didn't want to talk to him because he's gay. So again, back to being homophobic to other people because I was scared of myself. So it was June. It was June something. I don't remember quite what it was, but I was in my room crying because I was like, I can't keep this in anymore. It was boiling up so much, I just couldn't keep it in. So I messaged two of my best friends and told them I was gay. Just said, hey, I need to tell you something. You can't tell anyone. I'm putting all my trust in you. They said, what is it? And I was like, I'm gay. When I was typing them words, I never felt so much fear and so much anxiousness and scared and worried and also excited, but very, like, I was shaking. I was shaking. When I sent the words, I was in tears. I was so scared. It's really scary unless you know what it's like to come out when you're so in the closet for such a long time. It's fucking scary because you don't know how they're going to react. You don't know what they're going to say. And that's the fear that you have. What the fuck will happen? They were fine. They were completely supportive. They were like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Well done. Congratulations. I was so happy. I was so happy. So those were the only two people I told. And one of them was in our school, one of them wasn't. So I would, like, talk to her about all my boy problems, and I kind of got the feeling that she was kind of getting bored of it. But what people need to understand is, like, when you've kept a secret in for so long, and you finally tell someone what that secret is, that person now feels comfortable to talk to you about that problem. Because you've kept it in for so long, there's so many things that they want to tell you because they've never been able to express it before. They've never been able to, like, sit there and go, oh, he's fit. Oh, I would, like, to a boy, because they're so scared. And they don't want to tell you. But when they do, they want to say it all the time because they feel free. So I kind of got the impression that my friend was kind of, like, getting bored of me saying all these things about boys and, like, all my boy problems and all this shit. I kind of got the understanding that she was bored of it. So I kind of just stopped talking about it and back to bottling it up. Then my parents found out. I don't believe in coming out. I really don't believe in it. I don't think it should be done. I think if you ask, then yeah, I'll tell you. But I don't think it should be a big deal where I sit down with my family, sit down with all my friends, and I go, I'm gay. Straight people don't have to do that. Straight people don't have to come out. Only different people do. And that's what I don't like. But it's back to this whole, you're presumed straight when you are born, and you then have to come out if you're not straight. So I didn't want to come out to my parents. I wanted to just bring home a boy one day, and they'd be like, who's that? And I'd be like, it's my boyfriend, deal with it. Like, that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't get to do that, because they found a dating app that I was on, and it was full of boys, and they were just like, what is this? I was half asleep, and I couldn't lie about it. I could not say, oh, it's my friend's account. I couldn't lie. So I just said, I'm gay. And they were just like, that's fine. Just why didn't you tell us sooner? Properly, I just didn't accept myself. So I couldn't say it because I didn't want to accept it. And they were like, okay. And to this day, they're still very wary of me being gay, because I used to go out with so many girls, I used to talk to loads of girls. They're kind of like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you're not bi? Like, do you like both? Because they still want me to have that life of getting married, having kids with a female, so I can carry on my family name. But that will never happen. And that's something they've got to deal with, and they've got to learn. It's still very new to them, so I understand why they're so shocked. But it's something that they got to deal with. So after I came out to my parents, I think the day after, I came out to my best friend. And she didn't believe me at first. She was like, no, you're not. I was like, yes, I am. She was like, is this a joke? Like, she was completely like, no way. Because she had asked me loads of times, like, are you gay? I don't care if you're gay, I just really want to know. And I would always say, no, I'm straight. And lying to people like that was the hardest thing, in my opinion. When they would ask, pull me aside, one-to-one, and ask, are you gay? I don't care if you're gay, I will completely accept you, I just really want to know. And I would have to sit there and lie to myself, and lie to them, and lie to everyone, and say I was straight. When I wasn't, I was gay. And that was one of the hardest things I had to deal with, was lying to everyone. So anyway, after I shortly came out to that girl, I started coming out to more and more people. It was a gradual process until I just kind of didn't care anymore. Like, I would be talking to a girl that I had came out to in art class, and there would be someone that didn't know, and they would overhear our conversation, and then they would find out. And it was just a thing that I didn't care anymore. I was so bored and so angry and tired of keeping it in for so long as I did, that I just didn't care. I wanted it to be free, if you will. I wanted to just get it off my chest and just, like, be free. Now, let's go to a big part in my life that made this year much better than it is. I started TikTok. That's probably where you all know me from, is TikTok. So I started TikTok, and I got a lot of female attention, which I didn't mind. I don't mind attention. But when they were asking me, like, oh my god, like, would you talk to me? And, like, it was constant females when I was into guys. It was annoying. It was boring. It was boring me. I wanted to talk to more guys, but it was all girls. And that's what I was not happy with. So, then I met this guy called, we're not gonna say his name, but there's this guy who is on TikTok, and I spoke to him. He was really nice, and at the time he had a guy he was talking to. So I was just kind of like being friends with him, trying to make friends with him. And he would tell me that his guy that he was talking to wasn't very, like, good for him, wasn't making him feel happy, wasn't really doing what he wanted in terms of sense. So I was like, if you want to be happy, drop him, because it will make you much happier. So it took a while for them to finally fizzle out, but now they're just friends, and me and him got to talking, and we're not talking in the sense, we are still very mates, but we are each other's focus, and we are each other's first priority, if you will. And that's that. So I started telling all my friends about him, the ones that I was out to anyway, about this guy that I was talking to, and how I really like him, and how like he's like the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I feel this really strong connection, and I really like him. They were like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you, and all this. And like the guy that I was speaking to, he's out and gay, and I was not. I was still in the closet at this point on like TikTok and all that, and I was still very like out closet. I was just in the closet, and that was that. So he would like always come on my lives and like try and like not force it out with me, but like hint at the fact that I was gay, because he really wanted me to come out. He really wanted me to just show who I was, because he didn't believe in keeping secrets, and he didn't believe that I should do this, because I knew that I was. It wasn't like he was trying to out me, because I knew that I was gay, and I was out to a few of my friends, but he just didn't like that I was keeping it a secret from everyone. So he came to me one day and was like, I've got a plan for you. And I was like, what is it? He was like, make a TikTok about me. See if anyone clocks it, see if anyone gets it. And I was like, okay, I guess. So I made the TikTok, and only a few people kind of clocked it. And that was that. It wasn't until I went to school that a boy that I know was like, congratulations on coming out on TikTok. And my friend was next to him. This friend didn't know, because I didn't think she would accept me, if I'm being completely honest. And she was like, Lee, are you gay? And I was, like I said, so fed up of keeping it a secret, so fed up of just keeping it inside and not telling anyone, that I was just like, yeah, I am. And she was like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you. Like, she spotted me, and she was like, well done. So they went up in class, and then it wasn't really spoken about until this boy, that I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this boy, came up to me and was like, Lee, like, I heard you're gay, is that true? And again, like I said, I was so bored of keeping it in, I just said yes. And he told all his friends, and all his friends told their friends, and sooner or later it was round the whole school that I was gay. I had came out as gay on Tuesday. It was on a Tuesday. That's all I remember. And I came out in English class, and the English teacher that I had was also gay, so he was really happy for me, and everyone was really happy for me. There was a few pricks who didn't accept it, but I didn't expect anything less, if I'm being completely honest. So that happened, and then the following day I got questioned mercifully about it, like, oh, what is it like? Why do you like it? And like, very like inappropriate questions, I'll say. I didn't really feel comfortable answering them. But anyway, that's what happened. So that was a learning curve, was just everyone's reaction to it, everyone's understanding towards it. Everyone was very accepting, I will say. Everyone was kind of like, we saw it coming. Everyone kind of knew, but it was me finally admitting to it that was like the shock, really. So after I came out in school, I then came out on my social media. So I made a gay TikTok. I came out on my Instagram, I came out on my Snapchat, I came out on everything, because again, like I said, I was bored of keeping it in for so long, so bored of keeping it a secret and lying to everyone. So I came out to everyone, and it was hard because some of my exes who were girls texted me and was like, you're gay? Like, what? Like, I thought we date. I thought you liked me. And I had to really sit them down and break the truth. You were a cover-up. You were a mask that I was wearing. And as harsh and as awful as that sounds, it's the truth. And I'm not gonna lie and say that I did like that girl and I did want to progress things. No, she was a mask for me to wear so I could hide the true identity that I have, which was that I am a gay man. So it's been a week since I came out, and it's been a very stressful, very hectic week because my friends have found out, my sisters have found out, my family's all found out, people that I don't know have found out, my exes have found out, my old best friends have found out, everyone knows. And there are some people that accept it, there are some people that don't, and I didn't expect anything less. There are going to be people that don't accept it, don't understand it, and it's just reality, in a sense. It just is what happens. But I just want to say, for anyone out there who is still in the closet, or still is very homophobic to themselves, or isn't very happy with who they are, and what they are, and how they were born, just know that there are people out there who will accept you, that will love you for who you are. And the people that don't, they don't need to be in your life. No one needs to be in your life. You choose who you keep in your life, who you want in your life. If they don't accept you, they don't need to be a part of your life. You don't have to accept them in. You don't have to accept everyone in. Only accept the people that truly love you for who you are. Because at the end of the day, you are this thing. You are born the way you are, and you can't change that. You cannot change it for the life of you. And that is the hardest thing to really come to grips with, is that you are born this way. Whether it be lesbian, bi, gay, trans. Like, you are born how you are, and that is how it will always stay. You cannot change that. So anyone that is in the closet, or anyone that is finding it really hard to come to terms with who they are, just know that you can't change that. You can't change how you were born. You can't change who you are. So just accept yourself, because it truly is the best feeling, knowing that you can finally say what you want to say without being judged, and say what you want to do, and do what you want to do, and act how you want to act, without someone over your shoulder like, that's too gay, you can't do that, you're going to expose yourself for who you really are. That's how I felt. And it was really hard. But I've now accepted myself for who I am, and I've understood that what I am is okay, and is normal, and is what I am. So, this has been a long video, but it really needs to be said. If any of you are dealing with anything remotely similar to what I was dealing with, my DMs are always open for people that are questioning their sexuality, because I was in your place 2 years ago, and it's hard. It's really, really hard to come to grips with. So if you're dealing with this kind of stuff, my DMs are open, and I will talk to you and try and give you as much help as I possibly can. But other than that, subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to people that you know are dealing with this, so they can maybe it can help them come out. Anyway, I will hopefully see you in my next video if I continue to do this, and I love you all. Bye.